You would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think paying to have good credit? I know what you were just bringing up things about first-time home buyers, and there's a lot of things they don't think about or just simply do not understand up front. In this economy, a lot of people are trying to save money. A lot of people don't have money to save. So I know there's different loan programs. There's USDA, which I believe you can qualify for the rural development where you can put zero down on some homes if they're in rural areas outside of the major cities, more of your suburb towns. So you have that, and then you have FHA, which I believe you said is what, 65% of your newer home buyers. And then you have your grown-up loan type, which is conventional, which requires what, 20%. But I think I've seen something where they have like 3 and 5% options. But anyway, is there any pros and cons of those three loan types for someone who is just starting to get in the process of purchasing their first home? Should they look at USDA just because, if they can move to a rural area, they don't have to put a down payment down? Or is that like a trick in the end? What is your opinion?
Here's what I would say is back to the loan estimate. You need to know your numbers. There are assistance programs where that would fill the void of you needing money.
Hmm.
So we'll start with that.
Yep.
And these type of loan programs allow the seller to pay your closing costs. So you don't need money to buy a home. So take your money and eliminate your credit card debt so you can buy a house. That's my advice.
Mm.
Right? Pay off your bills and get an assistance program and go over all your numbers. A pre-approval doesn't mean it if you didn't go over your numbers. I'd be embarrassed if you got a pre-approval and you're listening to this and you don't know your numbers. Well, I'm good. No, you know who knows their numbers? Rich people. You know who doesn't want to know their numbers? Poor people.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Well,
Right? This is a big thing.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what's funny? Well, Costco, all sorts of people enter Costco. The rich people know exactly how much that cart will cost before checkout.
Yeah.
Poor people have no idea. They have no idea what's going on in life. They don't
Right.
want to know. And maybe it's because they're just trying to get by.
Hmm.
But you need to organize your life and take responsibility to get yourself out of this situation. There needs to be accountability, and it starts with the person looking at the mirror.
Yeah.
You need to go over your budget. You need to know your numbers. This is it. That's what I
Yeah.
would tell people. There are
Perfect. I
no
love it.
tricks.
Yeah.
There are the programs where you don't need the money, but you got to be willing to go through the process. Loan app, all your docs. Don't tell me you can't find them. I want to hear you're going to get them all. That's all I want to hear is you're going to get them all. Don't fight me. You're just going to get them all.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go over every number, which is so different. And then you're ready to buy a home.
There you go.
That's why I don't have I try to minimize the issues in my life. I don't want to deal with people that don't want to follow the rules.
Hmm.
I'll work with any credit score. I'll work with any single person, but I will never work with someone that doesn't follow the rules. Not worth it.
Hmm.
Let them be with someone else. That's like a 1-star ready to go complaint. I'm too old for that. Let Bobby Smith go to somewhere else.
Right.
I actually avoid, to be honest, since the more strict I've got, I just avoid these people. It's
Yeah.
actually a blessing.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to participate. They don't want to play the rules.
Hmm.
Not my problem. It's their problem.
Right. Well, is there such thing as someone getting approved for a home with the absolute worst credit? I know we always talk about the minimum required credit score, 580, 620, whatever. What if somebody has a 500 or a 450? Do they just put more
Okay,
money
so
down?
here's the thing, right? It's the odds. This is getting harder and harder because of AI.
Yeah.
They're getting better at predicting. So
Hmm.
there's less variance today than there was many years ago. Just to let people know, you get the 3 credit bureaus. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, right? You got 3, right? Above them was Fair Isaac that sells all the mathematical equations for mortgages, car loans, a million different topics.
Yep.
And this is why sometimes there's different variations because the mortgage credit score is different than the credit
Correct.
card credit score. Okay.
Yep.
So yes, recently Fair Isaac's gonna have more competition, but this is something that you just need to know. There's less variation right now. So the reality is I would tell someone what's the lowest I've done. Like, yeah, if you're coming off like a BK or something, but realistically, the question shouldn't be what's the lowest I've done, which was like I want to say probably like a 560, right? But it's not the lowest I've done. It really should be what's the lowest you should buy at. Wrong way to look at it.
Yep.
We're Uncle Phil says we need responsibility.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you wish to be a guest on our podcast, visit StirgusCreditRepair.com and click the podcast page to schedule an episode. If you need help with your credit, you can also sign up at StirgusCreditRepair.com and start your free trial today.
Stirgus Credit Repair. Stirgus Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us. If you need